Hi, and welcome to my video about Maud Lewis. She's my artist for the artist study, and this is my video. Maud Lewis was born on March 7, 1903, and she was born with multiple defects affecting her hands and causing her to have juvenile arthritis. Her parents were John Dowley and Agnes Dowley. Sadly, they died long ago, so I couldn't retrieve a real picture of them. Maud Lewis had a happy childhood. She was very joyful and active, and she enjoyed working in the farms that her father owned. But when school started, the bullying pushed her to the limits. That's right, bullying. Bullying was the main cause of her distress in school. Every recess or so, her friends would make fun of her by mocking her and calling her names, caused by her malformed hands and juvenile arthritis. Sadly, this eventually built up so much that she had to quit school in grade 5 in order to escape this endless tunnel of bullying. Just imagine that. You've been bullied so much that you just want to quit school altogether. That's why you really need to stop bullying, or else everyone might quit school someday. By now, Maud Lewis was living a solitary life, constantly painting her favorite scenes. Her pictures really represented a sense of innocence and childlike wonder. Sadly, in just a 2-year period, both Maud Lewis's parents died. Luckily, her aunt was willing to accept her into the household so she can take care of her. One peaceful day, she found a newspaper ad that a local fisherman had posted looking for a maid. His name was Everett, and Maud Lewis happily applied. Not long after they first met, they got married, and they both moved to Everett's house. The only downside, it was space. The house is a mere 4 by 4 meters wide, and is a couple of feet high. That's just barely bigger than an average bedroom. But space wasn't the only problem. They also had no electricity and no running water. But Maud Lewis didn't care. She loved the house because she was living in it with Everett Lewis, and she loved him very much. But something was missing. I know! A child was missing from this family. But not for long. Later, they got a baby called Catherine. Sadly, they realized they couldn't keep Catherine due to the high cost of raising children. So they ended up putting her up for adoption. With her child out of the way, she began painting again. Her painting soon started attracting neighbors, tourists, and CBC even came to her house for an interview, and they even made an article about her in the newspaper. In order to keep visitors coming, she painted her house to make it look attractive. And before long, her house was completely splattered with beautiful paintings of flowers and birds and trees. Sadly, the crippled and elderly woman now had a case of pneumonia and now had to frequently visit the hospital. Sadly, she didn't survive this and ended up dying in 1970. She died at the age of 67, but her legacy will never die. Now let's move on to her paintings. Maud Lewis has made quite a few beautiful paintings throughout her lifetime, such as this one called Horses Pulling Logs. She painted this in 1964. Or this Untitled one she made in 1965. What do all these paintings have in common? They all have vibrant colors, like the green on the bow over there, and simple shapes, like the waves of the ocean, which are just squiggly lines. Unlike this random picture, the special thing about Maud Lewis is that she maintained a happy vibe throughout her tragic life, and she expressed this by painting beautiful pictures. One of her famous quotes were,
I've got a brush in front of me, I'm alright.
And that's why Maud Lewis was such a special artist.